Hello and welcome once again everyone. Today's replay highlight features a very good game in the Tier 10 American heavy cruiser Des Moines. I'd like to give a special shout out to Wuta63 from Clan Omni for sharing this replay. Our brave captain has both the legendary upgrade fitted and the Admiral Halsey bonus captain, so fireworks are guaranteed. I've included the full ship build, including the captain skills, after the main highlights, so if you wish to skip ahead at any point or for future reference, the timestamp is shown here on screen. Our captain is using radiolocation, which is a very popular skill for destroyers and cruisers in clan battles, but is equally effective in random battles. Simply knowing at all times the direction of the closest enemy threat is such a powerful tool, allowing one to make informed decisions where to position yourself, as well as just simple things like aiming at the right spot and not being caught by surprise. It also has the added effect of being confusing to the enemy, as it often makes one think they are being located by a destroyer. Opening salvos of the match on the enemy Zhao, who seems to be moving quite slowly there. Captain gets his first citadel of the game. Briefly detected. Once again. The Zhao has managed to get undetected. The closest enemy ship is directly behind that island. There is a smoke screen there. Briefly detected once again and targeted by two. That's the great advantage of playing the Des Moines behind islands, using the great cover provided here. A couple of enemies have smoked up there. Just quickly tapping the map key there to get a visual where that smoke screen is. There is a Minotaur and a Smolensk there, and something else sitting in smoke. Could be possibly the second Smolensk, judging from the amount of firepower coming out of there. It would seem all these cruisers have smoked up rather close to the capture point, and our captain is just using the cover of the island to creep up into radar range undetected. With his guns already zoomed in on target, he pops his radar. Takes out his engine with the first salvo. It's the proverbial fox in the henhouse effect, seeing all these smoked up ships scattering left and right. Another double citadel on the Smolensk. Quite a lot of incoming fire now at the moment. Captain decides to slowly reverse away while maintaining fire on that Smolensk. He goes down. Captain gets the first blood and the first kill of the game. Both these ships now are well angled. Captain has changed to high explosive. Switches back to armor piercing once again for the Minotaur. Keeps reversing away. And leaves the Minotaur with a parting gift with another citadel hit. He is detected once again. The Summers is there in front of those smoke screens somewhere. Now he's plane spotted. The recently departed Smolensk is blaming the Summers for his demise when it was down to his own poor positioning. Quickly focus the AA on those planes. The wreck of the Smolensk. Gets spotted once again by the Summers. He has hydroacoustic search up and running. There, he spotted Smolensk in the smoke screen. See where both sets of shells are emanating from. Enemy Smolensk doesn't seem to be moving in his smoke screen, which is a big mistake. Citadel hit in the smoke. Verses away once again. Another two Citadel hits in the smoke. Captain gets undetected once again behind the relative safety of the island. And he's already up to 78,000 damage. And 10 Citadel hits, which is quite a lot already so early in the game. RPF has moved to the right. briefly checking around the position of his teammates. Our team has managed to take the capture point. Incoming torps. Losing the legendary mod on the Des Moines, it's easy to back away quite quickly. Enemy Zhao is showing broadside. Captain is able to reverse back here quickly. Zhao is being overly aggressive. Armor piercing shells away. Briefly plane spotted, that's unfortunate. Focuses the AA again. Another citadel hit on the Zhao. Another 3 citadel strikes on the Zhao. Zhao is now critically low health. Knocks out one of his turrets. And this salvo should finish him off, which indeed it does. And our captain gets the second kill of the game and is up to 14 citadels and 107,000 damage. And the only 2 kills so far in this game. The words are hardly out of my mouth, and the friendly Gremlin gets taken out by the enemy Minotaur. And with the 2 caps to 1 advantage here, our captain doesn't see the need to push out into open water. That is not the strength of the Des Moines. He's going to reposition. That looks suspiciously like a Shimakaze with no camouflage. Decides to slow down and let him pass. That's a very healthy looking Montana in the distance. And our captain is able to use the island here to fire undetected with great firing arcs of the Des Moines 203mm guns, being able to lob shells over islands from positions like this and remain undetected. They are quite slow shells, making it quite a little bit difficult at longer ranges, but once you get zeroed in, get the fire. It would seem the enemy Montana has made a huge mistake by instantly repairing that one fire, something you should never ever do as a battleship player. He is now sitting still, he realizes his mistake. There's a permafire. It will burn for the full duration. Captain now changes his aim ever so slightly, aiming for the rear of that Montana in an attempt to get a second fire burning. Here's that second fire. These heavy shells from the Des Moines, they will do quite a bit of penetration damage as well. And this Montana doesn't know it yet, but he's doomed. Can't repair that fire. Just managed to get briefly undetected. But he does burn down to our captain's fires. And that's the 3rd kill of the match. And only 3 ships down on the enemy team so far. Our captain gets rammed by the Republic. A lot of players have trouble learning when to push and when not to. And this is an ideal moment. The enemy Montana has been removed from the picture. We've got support from behind and on the left flank. And it would seem once again that these 2 cruisers, the Smolensk and the Minotaur, have smoked up. Captain pops his radar. Again, it's a case of the fox in the henhouse. Both cruisers desperately start trying to flee. Captain swaps to the Minotaur. multiple citadels. Takes out the Minotaur, swaps quickly back to the Smolensk, and takes out the Smolensk with a double strike and some fireworks, and a very nice way to celebrate the Kraken achievement. With that double strike achievement, our captain's concealment drops down to 9.8 kilometers, meaning it's now possible to stealth radar, making the Des Moines a truly dangerous ship to contend with. Our captain has amassed almost effortlessly, it would seem, almost 200,000 damage and 19 citadel hits, and is responsible for every loss so far on the enemy team in the process. No sooner have I spoken the words and our friendly Shimakaze takes out the Minotaur on the enemy team. Our captain has a healthy 400 points lead. Quickly taps the M key to get an idea where that enemy Republic is. Get a better bearing, utilizing the high arc ballistics of the Des Moines shells to easily lob shells over the islands here. Enemy Conqueror is reversing over at the far gap. He has started moving forward. Gets a fire and the high caliber award. He's unfortunately plane spotted here. Enemy Conqueror does get unspotted. Republic would seem to be pushing up between those islands. Gets another fire on the Conqueror. It is still burning, so its damage counter is still ticking away there in the corner. With a healthy points lead of over 400, there is no point in pushing the issue. Enemy Conqueror is still burning, it would seem. Damage counter is still ticking away. And with this enemy Republic pushing, our captain makes the wise choice to turn away and start falling back and put these islands between himself and the Republic. He does have support from an enemy battleship. He's going to continue to fall back here. Use these islands to ambush this Republic and for additional cover. Always thinking ahead is key to success in World of Warships, and while playing the waiting game here for the Republic, our captain moves into a very strong position. Republic gets unspotted. Captain pops his radar. Get off a preemptive volley on the Republic as it rounds the corner. Does get plane spotted, unfortunately. There's the Confederate achievement and the second batch of fireworks. And now the Des Moines becomes truly a scary monster with a 20% reload buff. Our captain has already assumed the perfect position, is able to instantly get behind the island and avoid the brunt of the damage from the Republic's secondaries. The Summers does manage to torp out the friendly Republic, so he is wandering around somewhere there to the north. He intentionally rams the island to maintain position so he doesn't sail out into the open. Swaps to high explosive and puts down some fire on the enemy Conqueror. And there's no point in taking risks now. Team is up to 960 points. Our captain is going to maintain his angles and attempt to farm some extra damage on these battleships without giving them a chance to delete him. His main concern here is the enemy Republic, but he maintains a perfect angle, is able to bounce the Republic shells and puts down some heavy fire, and the Republic gets taken out by the Shimakaze. A textbook demonstration on how to play the Des Moines, showcasing all her great strengths with very impressive results to match. Before going to the complete ship build, let me quickly tell you I've added a Discord server. You can find the link in the description below. Now on to the build. As usual, starting with the consumables. I always advise using premium due to the extra charges and shorter cooldowns. You have some very nice options here for a strong all-round balance. 4 charges each of hydroacoustic search, surveillance radar, and repair party. If you find yourself playing with a lot of carriers, feel free to swap out hydro for defensive AA. Moving on to the upgrades for what I've found to be a very strong balance. Main armament mod 1, surveillance radar mod 1, aiming systems mod 1, steering gears mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and finally the legendary module enhanced propulsion. Onto the Des Moines captain skills. A quick side note here, I'm personally using the Halsey bonus captain with 2 very nice talents. Hit fast will reduce your detection range by a further 10% for getting the double strike achievement, and hit hard on getting the Confederate award will reduce your main battery reload speed by 20%. Your training order is of course reliant on your own playstyle and personal choice, but I highly recommend going with Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, and then Concealment Expert for your first 10 points. The remaining 9 points I like going for Preventive Maintenance, Expert Loader, Demolition Expert, and then finally a choice between Advanced Firing Training or Radio Location, depending on the game mode you are playing. Okay, so let's see what this captain build and upgrades mean for your ship's final stats. For survivability, Des Moines gets 50,600 hit points. Main artillery consists of 3x3 203mm turrets, 2 in the front and 1 in the back, with a very fast 5.5 second reload speed and 15.8 kilometers in range. Des Moines gets an AA defense rating of 83 with very strong mid-range and long-range damage effects. Des Moines' maneuverability includes a base speed of 33 knots, a turning circle of 770 meters, and a rudder shift time of 5.5 seconds. A concealment rating of 65 means Des Moines will be detected at 10.9 kilometers by other ships and spotted from the air by planes at 6.4 kilometers. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.